Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Emily and we are going to do another little editing with me vlog. This one is for In Dying Starlight. If you are new, In Dying Starlight is my series of science fiction novellas. It's very space opera, very found family, a little pulpy. This series I have already published on Amazon. I had a proofreader for it, but I wanted to get a more thorough line edit done, both because I am republishing it with new covers and also because early next year I am going to be running a Kickstarter on it and I want it as clean as possible. So I returned to my editor. My editor is the lovely Natalia from Enchanted Ink Publishing. I have used her for all of my books. I have these 12 novellas booked throughout the year. I got 1 through 7 edited at once over January and February, which was a little over 200,000 words worth of stuff. Obviously, we're not doing that right now. We're just gonna start on book 1. So Natalia is a professional line editor. She does copy editing, line editing, developmental editing. I don't ask her for developmental edits though. So she's going to be going in and fixing all of my grammar and punctuation and horrendous sentence fragments and many other things. Hi, Natalia. Sorry. If you are curious, I have also done one of these videos for my last story, The Sea at the End of Everything. It was a novella. Natalia edited this as well. She did a fantastic job, and I have a video going over some of her line edits for that too. So we are going to jump into screen share. So we got 207,000 words long. So novellas 1 through 7. 10,266 comments and changes. That sounds like a lot, and I mean it is. That sounds like a lot, but we will see the kinds of things we are changing. So there's going to be a lot of stuff where I'm just going to go through it quickly and it needs no explanation. Like apparently I spelled it's wrong right off the bat. So stuff like this, I'm just going to go through and accept. I have worked with Natalia for a while now, so, I said it was the only place instead of it is the only place. That makes sense. So most of these little things, I trust Natalia's judgment. She also gives me just a completely clean document in case I just want to not go through the way I'm doing it right now and just accept all of her changes. But sometimes I do reject her changes. Not very often, but I do. So I like to go through. So I like to actually go through all the stuff. But a lot of the little things, the little commas and everything, I'm just gonna go through and blindly accept because I trust that she knows commas way better than I do. I don't. Commas are the bane of my existence. Natalia knows what she's doing. And she's gonna have highlighted things for, I have over the viewport and then out the viewport right in the same paragraph, and that's repetitive. We would like to avoid that. My self-edits for this, I had to do a lot of fixing stuff like that, and evidently my brain still just skipped over a lot of it. When the comm beeps and I set the ship towards a docking station, Bat's big ears pop up from the tiny cot over the viewport. His snout appears over the edge as he gazes out the viewport. Yeah, how do I fix that? Hung over the control panel. Because that is right in front of the window of the ship. His snout appears as he gazes out the viewport. There we go. That makes sense. More commas, commas. Stuffed his head back into his blankets instead of in his blankets. That makes sense. He's a tough little thing, impossible to kill, but doesn't like the freezing cold. He doesn't like the freezing cold. That makes sense. I'm reviewing my comments currently, so I can't recall if that started regrowing fur. He didn't regrow fur. He just had a little bit of, he's mostly a little hairless badger, but he's got little tufts here and there. So I think later on, I'll just edit out or make more clear that it's just a few little patches of hair here and there. He's still mostly hairless. I think I'll just leave that comment so that I remember to go and change it, because I will forget. I read over this a few times. Sounds clunky. Revised for clarity. 2 black eyes glare, round little face, the squat snout, each ear larger than his face. Yeah, I used face twice too. I swear these books, no matter how many times I self-edit them, always rough. I just don't catch stuff in this series. My brain doesn't compute it somehow. I'm not being dramatic. I catch stuff like this better in my other books. A round little face, squat snout. And each ear larger than my hand. It's a disconcerting image. Okay, that's better. 2 little black eyes glare. 2 black eyes glare with a round little face, squat snout, and each ear larger than my hand. It's a disconcerting image. That's better. My computer keeps trying to get me to buy more iCloud storage. I'm not doing it, Apple. I'm not doing it. Okay? Be quiet. I added a word in here because any number starting a sentence needs to be written out, which I prefer to avoid. deployed. Oh, okay. Right. Only 630,000 humans in total. Yeah, that was one of the things where I wasn't sure how to write out the numbers over the course of the story, and I probably gave Natalia a headache. It gave me a headache. Might consider adding a dialogue tag or action beats here to quickly clarify who's speaking. I'll just say, or I tell him. I had in every direction pristine white stretches, and she changed it to pristine white stretches in every direction, which is much better, except all that. Commas aren't needed between cumulative adjectives unless they're strange, flat, gray ships. Oh. See, I don't know commas. Don't talk to me about commas. And then every once in a while, the rules for how commas are supposed to be used changes, and good luck. You know, not in my brain. Yeah, most of this is just slightly rearranging sentences and keeping the entire meaning the same, just making it sound like I know how to use words correctly. I just had a sentence fragment that was should have put my hood up to begin with, and she changed it to I should have put my hood up to begin with. That's fine. I accept the slightly less rough variation. This series in general has a much rougher writing style than any of my other books, on purpose, because of the way that Aaron, the main character, is. His inner monologue is very choppy and not graceful, but sometimes I go a little too overboard with the sentence structure. Yeah, I did take a lot of the word that out of the story because I use it too much as a crutch word, and then sometimes I go back through and start to take them out and like go a little bit overboard. Sounds so flimsy when I knock that I'm certain I could tear through it like paper. Yeah, that's better. Change from the controller is a young twig-like man to a twig-like young man. That does sound better. All I know is how the sentences sound, and sometimes it just doesn't come across when I'm writing it. I wonder if it's possible to hunt bounties without ever having to leave the ship. I feel this way every time I have to get groceries. Oh, Aaron's little relatable introvert mind. I'm also, if you're not caught up on my vlogs about this series, I am rebranding all of these novellas. New covers, new formatting. Sometime next year we're doing a Kickstarter. It's gonna be great. Although it is so many words, I don't know if I can get it into one box set like I wanted. It might have to be 2 books. Don't land on the ice. He sounds like he's asking, why? Big fish. I can't tell if he's serious, but the sweat along his forehead and jumpy twitches he's tapping along the floor with his foot make me think not. So he's not serious? Just want to ensure your intention here is clear. That doesn't make sense, does it? He is serious. He's just being a little sarcastic butt about it. M dash here instead. Can't tell if he's serious. The sweat along his forehead make along the floor with the foot would imply he is. Okay, I think that's better. There is only one man. Yes. He steps in front of Aaron a few paragraphs down, so I'm unsure. Let's see. Bat goes rigid. I set him on the ground. The man sitting on the gangplank up to the airlock watches him scurry around the other side of the ship. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, he's standing there. He got up. I'll just put standing. It says standing. Hands behind his back like he's comfortable. That should be more clear. I have maps, leaps and bounds more detailed already downloaded onto my ship's computer. What did I have before? Oh, I have maps downloaded onto my ship's computer that are leaps and bounds more detailed already. I have maps, leaps and bounds more detailed already downloaded onto my ship's computer. Yeah, that makes sense. That sounds slightly better. I had dark clouds are nearly solid, and she put the dark clouds are nearly solid. I do like trying to not start sentences with the word the too much, but then I go a little bit overboard. So, can you tell I have a habit of just slightly going overboard, trying to make sentences sound different? Because I can. I never expected it to be this quick. I didn't expect it to be this quick. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know why I had to think about that. They're basically the same thing. Still, I don't appreciate the worsening visibility, not the lowering visibility. Yeah, that's fine. We're not landing near people, are we? Bat hops down onto the controls, dragging a blanket with him. I feel like Bat is my spirit animal. Also, I am determined when the Kickstarter for this runs, I am determined to get a plushie made of Bat. Absolutely determined. Commas, commas, commas. Unsure if the ship has 1 or 2 engine C highlights. Okay. You know, me too. It has been a while since I drafted this book. I'm 99% sure it's 1 engine. I will check throughout. Kill the engine, or anyone can hear with its... When you write 400,000 words over the space of a couple of years, I don't remember little details like number of ship engines. Monetary amount, I'll leave the numerals. Cool, because that I'm pretty sure is what I had throughout the entire series, and who wants to change all that? Hair along the back of my neck raises, the hair along the back of my neck rises. Yeah, I'll just accept that. I like my sentence fragments, okay? It's a thing. And from now until forever, Natalia is going to be correcting my sentence fragments, as she should. But I'm going to be going over it for the rest of eternity. I like my sentence fragment. But I do agree they have, they are more appropriate in certain places, like in action scenes and stuff, because it conveys a bit more of the panic or the quick pace of it. So I agree that not, you know, sentence fragments shouldn't be everywhere, but also they should be everywhere. The whole book should just be sentence fragments. It really gets you inside the character's head. Sometimes Natalia fixes things on here, and I look at that and I'm like, I can't believe I didn't write it that way to begin with. And not only did I not write it that way to begin with, I never fixed it on the 82 edits since then. Sunken into chairs in the fireplace. Neither appears dangerous. I had neither appears dangerous sunken into the chairs behind the fireplace. Yeah, that does sound better. I don't know why, but it's always satisfying when your editor adds in an M dash. Because like you worry that you use them too much, but then your editor's like, yes, we should do in here. More glad for the darkness, more grateful for the darkness. That does sound better. It's another instance of why didn't I just use that to begin with. Love catching the Dying Starlight references throughout the story. Stare at the floor instead of stare at the ground. See highlights, some clear if each child has their own room or if they're sharing a room. Watching from their room again. Kids to their bedroom. Yeah, we'll do one room. Whoops. Delete the whole word, dummy. Bedroom. Break in is hyphenated, but break out is not. That's funny. This is why grammar rules cannot be trusted. You can't trust me with grammar. I had a pretty difficult time picturing bat until this moment, given the description we received early on. I didn't picture a badger. You might consider adding more details in the first chapter so the readers have a better idea of bat's appearance. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna leave that comment and I'm gonna come back to it because I'm gonna have to think of how to add it in. Definition of key lock is a lock opened by a key. I'll leave this, but wanted to flag it for review. Oh. What's the word I'm thinking of? Say like key pass? You know, it's science fiction. We're talking about like a little disc that goes in the side of the ship. I'm gonna leave that comment and I'm gonna go back and figure out what I want to do with that later because I'm gonna have to think of a different word and I probably used it throughout the series. This verb isn't a great fit here. A review. Once upright, I hummed the engine in the right wing to life. I could just say bring the engine to life. I'm gonna leave it. Because I like it. You know that TikTok meme that's like, nobody knows what it means, but it's evocative. I'm gonna leave that and I'm gonna think about it. If you can hear Rosie drinking in the background, what's new? You mean the water is falling back down out of the air? What do I mean? I don't know what I mean. Where the ship once was, ice explodes in a flurry of white. I'm fairly sure I see a giant fin. Water shoots out before sliding back down. Yeah, that's what I mean. I could just say water shoots out because obviously it has to go back. I'll just say water shoots out. You mean the gun slides away along the ice or perhaps clatters along the ice? You may consider a different verb. My gun scatters. Clatters is a good one. We'll go with that. That is the end of book one. We actually went through all the edits for book one. I am impressed that didn't take very long. As you can see, most of those were little changes and that is how it will tend to be. I try to write as clean of drafts as I possibly can. Well, they're not drafts anymore, they're edits before I send them to Natalia, so at least a lot of them were just changes I can go through pretty quickly. As I mentioned, I am currently rebranding these books right now. There will be a video pretty soon because I'm very close to actually relaunching these on Amazon. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, giving it a thumbs up and a subscribe really helps out my channel. I hope if you've never gotten a line edit, you found this useful and entertaining. I will probably do something like this for each book I get back from her, but it'll probably be like the first chapter or two for full-length novels, but This one was only 16,000 words, and it was pretty clean, so I could go through it pretty quickly. You can grab my published books, The Sea at the End of Everything, Under the Earth, Over the Sky, and you can read In Dying Starlight currently on Amazon. It's in Kindle Unlimited. It will be going down off Amazon soon, but it'll be a pretty small gap between when I take down the old versions and when I relaunch the series, so you can go check it out. You can also check out my upcoming Kickstarter for my very first short comic called Nightfallen. The link to the upcoming project page is in my description, so you can save it to be notified when it launches. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next vlog. Bye!